What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be doing my 2025 regular season disc golf in the bag. Now this is coming from a roughly 850 rated MA3 player. So this is probably what most people will be using in their bags. So to start, my putting putter, okay? We have Warlocks, okay? Now these guys, they're pretty glidey, pretty stable. Basically what you want in a putting putter. I just like that they don't have the bead. So yeah, there's my putting putter. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go from low speed to high speed. Next in my putt/approach category, we have a Kastaplast Berg. This thing, super unaffected by wind, just perfect disc. Everyone knows the Berg, everyone loves it. This is my go-to for short approach shots. Can't go wrong with it. Great color too. So, next in that same slot, we have the Get Freaky Zone. This is definitely more of an overstable approach disc. However, I think the Crystal Flex makes it a little bit less beefy and just kind of more of a straight flyer than maybe a more less flexy counterpart, you know. Next, looking at the same category, we have the Calvin Heimberg Toro. Similar to the Zone, however, I think this is a little bit more overstable, and also the plastic's a little stiffer, so this one will skip a little bit more. That one will kind of hit aside and kind of fall down. This will take that little extra skip, give me a little extra distance. So when I want a little bit of skip, I go here. When I don't want that, go Zone. Now we're gonna move on to the mid-ranges, okay? So I also am going from least stable to most stable. First, we have the Rollo. Awesome color pattern on this one. This is just a stock Halo Rollo max weight. I use this, not much actually. It's more in the bag because it looks pretty. Very flippy, good for rollers. Good looking disc though. Next, we have this Leapin' Lizardal Hex that my amazing girlfriend got me. I love this disc. I love the stamp on this one. This one, I've had it for like a year and a half now. It's definitely getting beat in, and it's definitely flying a little flippier than it used to, but I like it a lot. It gets good distance, feels good in the hand. And then we also have another Leapin' Lizardal Hex, the 2023 Halloween edition. Shout out Lila for getting this one. This one actually has a glow rim. That one is the glow flight plate. So this one has a rim that glows. This is a less used. I got this one for my birthday this year, so it's only a couple months old. Definitely flies, more stable. I like this one too. They both feel great in the hand. It's a hex. Can't go wrong with a hex. So next, we have one of the newest additions to my bag. We have the...
Sorry guys, I thought of a dumb joke. What the hex? Over here shaking behind the camera.
I had to let her get that. I think she might have exploded if I didn't let her do that, so. Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay. So next we have one of the newest additions of my bag. This is a Axiom Balance, the Prototype V1. I got this in the Gyropalooza box, from my amazing girlfriend. This is a pretty overstable mid-range, not quite the Pyro, but it'll still have that bite at the end. It's got decent glide. It's in 176, so a little bit on the heavier side. And yeah, I like the colors on this one. Good color combo. Next, and the last of our mid-ranges, we have a Pyro. This Pyro is really nice. I also got it from the Gyropalooza box. Shout out my girlfriend yet again. It feels really nice in the hand. It's very flat, and just overall really overstable, just consistent, you know. Now we're going to be moving on to the fairway drivers. So first off, we have our Lab Second Crave. This is a glow crave, but it's very straight. Definitely can get some turn out of it. Good distance, definitely pretty domey, and just a consistent flyer. You know what you're gonna get with the Crave. Okay, and next in our fairway lineup, we have the Discraft Athena. This is from the first run. I got this a long time ago, actually. It wasn't in my bag for a while, but now it's back, and it's a nice overstable fairway. It can definitely hold a line, but it's not gonna flip over very much. Gets good distance on pretty straight with the consistent finish, and yeah, yet again a good color, and yeah. Now moving on, we're still in the fairways with the 9 speeds now. We have the Road Runner. This is a disc that I don't use a ton, just because it's more of a utility disc. It's just really flippy, and I haven't been able to get it to quite roll how it's supposed to. However, I do need to give it another try because it's been a while. But beautiful disc. I love this one. Got this from, was it my girlfriend or her dad? Got it from Josh. Shout out Josh.
Wait,
Awesome
was
disc.
it? I think.
Your dad picked it out, but it was from you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out you guys for that W disc right here. Okay, next we have the Casaplast Stall. This is kind of a Thunderbird territory. Slightly flippy, but still overstable. Can get some turn out of it, but it's not gonna flip over often. It has a great plastic, decent amount of dome, so it can glide a decent bit. It can just be a little slick in the rain is my only issue with it, or when my hands are a little wet, you know. So yeah, that's my first one with the overstable 9 speeds. Next we have the Thought Space Omen. This is another Firebird-esque disc. It really has a lot of stability. It won't turn much, and it'll fade pretty consistently, but I can always rely on it in the wind. It's not gonna flip over ever, and it's very pretty disc. It can be a little hard to find sometimes in like a darker area, but overall, consistent, good disc. And then the last one of our fairway drivers, we have the Haley King Tour Series Firebird. Now this is probably the disc that has been in my bag the longest, other than maybe one other one we'll get to later. This disc, mainly forehand for most of these guys, and this one is pretty overstable. It'll always come back. It won't flip almost ever. It doesn't have much turn, but I can get some nice flat shots out of it. It'll skip right. It's gummy enough that it feels nice in the hand, but it'll still skip, and it won't just die when it hits the ground. Pretty flat, not too much of a bead, so I'm a big fan of this one. And now we're going to be moving on to our distance drivers. This is the last spot in the bag, but we got a decent amount of discs to go still. So this is another one of the newest additions to the bag, also from the Gyropalooza box. Shout out Madeline. We have our Defy. Now this is a slightly flippy, I believe 10 or 11 speed, 167, so slightly lighter. And it'll get some turn, and it won't burn over too much, so I can rely on it to fade at the end, but it'll still get the turn that it needs. I'm a big fan of it. It feels nice in the hand. The rim isn't too wide to grab onto. Yeah, so that's the first one. And then this is a tournament stamped Wraith here. It's 11.5 -1.3, so its numbers say it's like a 1 speed slower destroyer, but this is definitely a more stable run. It's definitely a little flatter, not as domey, and it's pretty stiff. And it flies a lot like a 11-speed Firebird. So I'm not gonna get a ton of turn out of it, but it's gonna consistently finish right. I don't have to worry about it, flipping over in a headwind, anything like that. It'll skip nice, and yeah. Okay, next disc here is the Arobi Epic. Is that right? Yeah, Arobi Epic. And this is very much a utility disc. I don't use this a ton, only when I have a lot of headspace. It's basically just exclusively for overhands. I've had this in the bag for a while. It's very rare that it comes out, but it's a fun little conversation piece, if nothing else. It's like, oh, like, why is it so weird, So yeah, that's why I have the Epic. Next, I almost took this out, but Madeline convinced me otherwise on this one. This is a, what is it, ESP Hades, I believe, is the plastic name, but it's a Hades. Very flippy distance driver. It's very touchy in a headwind or a tailwind. So it's hard to get the angles right, but this thing can definitely go a long ways if you get it right. Or it's a good roller disc too. But yeah, either way, this has been in my bag for a while. Since my backhand's been getting a little bit better recently, it's gotten a little flippy for me. But hopefully I can keep using it regardless. Next, this is probably the newest addition to my bag. I actually put this in probably 10 minutes ago because of a roundup later today. It's a Z Nuke from Discraft. I bought this in the used section for about $10 probably 2 years ago. Way too much disc for me at the time. I could barely use this. And then on forehands, it just felt a little bit too flippy for me to use. Like, I would just get over on it a lot. But recently, as I said, my backhand's been getting better. So this actually flies really nice on a backhand. It's got some nice turn, it fades nice, it'll go a long ways. So yeah, this is a big one that I like. This destroyer I bought recently, recently-ish, around my birthday. And it's definitely beat in. This plastic in particular beats in really quick, it feels like. Because this started off as a pretty beefy disc. It definitely would always come out of a turn and it'll always fade consistently. And recently it's kind of been getting flippy. It wouldn't come out of a turn as quick and it won't fade as hard. But it's been really nice for backhands, and it still is consistent on forehands. Like, I don't have to worry about it completely burning over, but it might just turn more than I want it to. So yeah, this is a nice disc I've been using, but I might need to replace it soon with a newer one for the forehand slot that I want it for. Next, we have another Calvin Heimberg destroyer. This one, however, I lost for about 6 months. Finally got it back, and it's very domey, very overstable destroyer. So I can get some good distance out of this. I can throw it on a pretty Anheuser line. Shout out to Josh for giving me this as a graduation present. And
almost doxed.
Got it as a graduation present, used it for a long time, lost it, devastated. That's why I bought that one. And then I found it like 2 weeks ago, and I was really happy. And this is just a great, reliable disc that I will never have to worry about turning over, and it glides like crazy, and it's just such an awesome disc. Okay, another shout out to Josh. We have a stock Halo destroyer. This thing's a real beefcake here. All right, let me tell you what. So yeah, this thing significantly more overstable than both of those two. It's more of a utility driver for me. It won't go as far, but when I need to make sure it finishes right, this is a very consistent disc. I won't have to worry about this flipping over. It feels nice in the hand, and yeah, this is just a good disc for me. And finally, moving to our very last disc, the disc that has been in my bag longer than any other disc, We have my Blizzard Vulcan. This, you might be asking yourself, what even is that? Nobody bags that. Who are you? What is that? Yes, those are all valid questions. The only reason I keep this in my bag, it was one of the first discs I ever found. Well, my little brother found it, actually. Shout out to Tate. And it flies like nothing other in the air on an overhand shot. This thing, I've pushed almost 600 feet on an overhand shot. It honestly flies better than the Epic on overhand shots, which is crazy to say. But it does some magic in the air. Who knows what happens. This disc will probably never come out of my bag as long as it is still a disc. So yeah, that will conclude my in the bag, everybody. Roll Tide, completely empty in there, as you can see. And
Do you want to give a tour of the empty bag? Where you got it, maybe? Some accessories, maybe?
Yeah, okay. So now looking at the bag itself, we have a dry bag. Got this from a tournament last year. These are nice to have. Shout out Bryant Bags. They sponsor a bunch of tournaments around here. Just great for the community, you know. I've had this for a while. It's nice. It works. And then just kind of some garbage in there. Don't worry about that. We have a couple minis in here. We have a metal MVP mini. We have a Titletown Classic mini. That's a local Tuscaloosa tournament. I actually won this one this past year, but not this year. As you can see, the trophy's right over there. And then we also have this mini here. I just keep a couple extra minis in here, you know. You never know when you're gonna need one. My birthday pin from my amazing girlfriend. Okay. And next we have, this is a water disc retriever. It's a little bundled up right now, but it works. It'll basically you just throw it in the water wherever your disc is, hook it on, bring it back to shore. Fun to use. Doesn't come out a lot just because I don't lose discs in shallow water too much. Okay, and then we have, also from my amazing girlfriend, a disc raptor from my amazing girlfriend's dad. Mom. Shout out Bernadette for this one. It's a disc cleaner, so like I can use my towels to dry it off, and then I'll put it in here and get off all the dirt. And it'll just help clean the disc up without having to, you know, use a towel every time necessarily, or deal with some of the bigger debris before I bring it to the towel, you know. We also have 2 towels. Titletown Classic towel. This is from a tournament, the same tournament we were talking about a few minutes ago. And then we have a Flying Lynx disc golf shop. Dewey Dogs. Flying Lynx towel. Shout out them. They went out of business. They were awesome for the disc golf community around there. They really put things together back then, back in Humboldt. Yep.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna cut that out. Another mini, PDGA mini this time. We have some Ripped Revenge cards. This is a little fun disc golf game to play with friends. And then shout out Madeline for those for my birthday. And finally, an OTB pencil. Shout out OTB discs. They are amazing on the West Coast. Same day shipping, or like 2-day shipping pretty much. So shout out them. Not a sponsor, although if you feel like sponsoring an 850 rated AM3 player, hit my line. I will wear whatever you need. Disc golf related. So yeah, roll tide, everybody.
Roll Tide. Do you want to fist bump the camera? Oh wait, one more time.